Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers to Sentinel's Newsmakers. And my guest today is Mr. Elu Ndang. He is the General Secretary for Naga Hoho. Naga Hoho is the apex tribal body of Nagaland. Welcome, Mr. Ndang, to Sentinel's Newsmakers. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. So let's start by talking, of course, about the whole COVID scenario. The numbers in Nagaland really shooting up. I guess it's already crossed, the number is already above 80 as we speak.
Right.
Most returnees now, testing positive and adding to the state's tally. So what are your views on the handling of the whole COVID scenario by the Rio government?
You see, in the first place, I would like to extend my appreciation to all the frontline workers,
Yeah.
the administration, the police, and above all, the civil societies, the tribal hohos, and the students' organizations, those who have volunteered to come forward and help the people.
Yeah.
At the moment, of course, you have rightly stated, as per this morning's report, the positive case have reached 94.
Yeah.
It's increasing alarmingly.
Right.
And it is very unfortunate that we are faced with this situation. But I must also give thanks to our Almighty God for being
Yeah.
so gracious to the Naga people. For such a long time, when people were suffering with this virus, we were kept safe. Now that it has reached our hometown, our place, collectively we must address this problem. One unfortunate thing is that though the government have given their best to contain this spread of the virus,
Yeah.
I think in one way or the other, the government have miserably failed to handle
Right.
this. One reason is the government they have emphasized too much on advertisement,
Okay.
saying that the state government is prepared. It was only in the paper. Whereas in the ground reality, the government did not make any preparations. Number two, the government have claimed so much, but they have failed to take into confidence the role of the civil societies, the role of the tribal hohos, the role of the students' organizations. For example, when the state government organizes programs, for example, like the Hornbill Festival,
Right.
each tribe or each community is given the task to perform or to present an item where the communities, respective tribes or communities prepared and then they present so well during the festival.
Yeah.
So also, if we are to tackle this problem with all seriousness, I think we can delegate responsibilities. We can share responsibilities. And I am sure no community leader will say no to it if the government seek
Right.
the cooperation of the people.
Right.
But in this effort, the government had ignored the role of these civil societies, as I've mentioned earlier, the role of the tribal hohos. Now everything is in a mess, is jumbled up. And for your information, Nagaland is such a small state, small populated, thinly populated. And if we are to address this, I don't think, I feel that it is not a big thing. It's not too difficult to address this if we properly organize it. And I'm sure we could have set an example to the outside world how we tackle this problem collectively as community. But in this regard, the government have failed. The
Yes.
government have overlooked the role of the people organizations.
Right, right. Mr. Ndang, before we move on to the next question, can I request you to sit up a little bit, adjust your camera a little bit?
Okay.
Yeah, because I really want, yes, yeah,
Okay, just hold on.
sure, sure.
Is that okay? Is that
Yeah,
better?
better. Yes, yes, much better,
Okay.
much better. And before I move any further, I would really like to apologize if I am mispronouncing your name and surname. I would really like to apologize for that.
No,
So
no.
yeah, yeah.
That's not
So
an issue. Cool, cool, cool. It's okay.
great. Thank you
It's all
so
right.
much.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, because your former Chief Minister, Mr. T.R. Zeliang, has also been flagging many of the issues over the past few days. You know, the Tuengsang fiasco, where 170 passengers were just allowed to, go home even before their test results came in. Now, there was this
Right.
COVID positive patient who reached Peren, and
Right.
government authorities really did not take notice of any of these things. So, has there been any kind of communication from your side or any of the other civil society organizations to the government that they have really messed up this whole thing and it's actually putting people's lives at risk?
Right. Right. Yeah, from my organization, we have not communicated anything to the government
Yeah,
for the fact that each district, each organization is taking up the responsibility, and
right.
therefore we find it proper not to meddle or
Okay,
interfere in their
okay,
affairs.
right, right.
Yeah, the Tuensang incident was very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
As per the reports and as per my informations,
Yes.
I have been talking with the civil society leaders.
Mm-hmm.
It was very unfortunate because when the talks were under process, the team had to leave for Tuensang,
Mm.
which was very unbecoming of a government.
Right,
It is very unfortunate, and we never expect this to happen from the highest level.
right.
If it is in a remote rural areas, that is understandable.
Yes.
But that happens in the state capital, which is highly questionable. And I felt so, personally, I felt so bad. But whatever has happened, it has happened. Hopefully, that collectively we will be able to address it. Another thing is to err is human. That is universal.
Right,
But the government cannot take the excuse of making mistakes and repeat the same mistakes.
right.
Now, Tensang issue is still very hot. It's still burning. It has not been addressed. Just
Yes.
promises to pacify the people. Now, yesterday, what happened again for Peren?
Yeah.
The government have admitted, no doubt, that they have done. I mean, there was a mistaken identity whatsoever.
Yeah. Right.
I think, and then the Dimapur is the gateway, is the main entry point. They should not be so careless in this, because
Right.
once it goes out of this, the community spread will take place, which is very dangerous. So
Absolutely.
far, the people at large, we are safe because it is still confined within the returnees. But once it goes out of it, then Naga society is gone, the state itself is gone,
Right.
which is very scary. God forbid it will not happen. But if we are to just ignore it, saying that to err is human, then the consequences could be too heavy for all of us.
Right. Yes, and I'm sure the government will, take notice of all of these things and be more careful in the coming days. Now,
Right.
this entire pandemic has also brought to the fore, it has actually exposed how fragile the entire healthcare infrastructure is, not just in Nagaland, across Northeast and across India.
Right.
So, as far as your state is concerned, what are some of your suggestions about the healthcare facilities in the state of Nagaland?
See, healthcare facility supposed to be on the priority list of the state government or policy of the government. Sadly, the fact remains that healthcare is the most neglected sector in Nagaland. Since statehood, we do not have proper healthcare facilities. Not to talk about rural areas. Dimapur and Kohima. I'm sure the people have seen the condition, the status, the condition of Dimapur Civil Hospital, which was converted into COVID hospital.
COVID. Yes.
Naga Hospital Kohima. The way, the structure, the infrastructures that were standing, the facilities, it was very unfortunate. It is really sad. And if the state capital and the commercial city, Dimapur, is in such a condition, what can we expect of the rural areas or other districts?
Right.
Government in this sector, successive governments have failed. Not only the present government, successive governments since statehood, they have terribly failed to address this health sector. Now, for instance, this COVID-19 is an eye-opener for every one of us. We see lots of graduates, trained nurses. They don't have jobs. Each year, many are passing out from the nursing schools.
Right.
They are not employed. Now, the state government is supposed to provide. In paper, they have what they call it, sub-center, medical sub-center in the village, rural areas.
Okay.
There is no infrastructure. People are appointed. They don't go to their service jobs. They are appointed. They sit in Dimapur and Kohima, perform their own business or serve in private hospitals. On the other hand, they enjoy their salary from the government. Why? Even if they go to their posting places, there is no infrastructure. There is no facility. There is in no way they are in a position to help even the rural people. This is the status. This is the situation where we are today.
Right.
The central government is also held responsible in a way because in spite of tall promises for the development of states like Nagaland or northeastern states,
Yes.
central government is also just only in paper, just only in words. The condition of the people today is at a very pathetic situation.
Right.
As I have stated in my opening remarks, by God's grace, we are protected. Otherwise, if at all these positive cases turn into a serious cases, there won't be a place even to admit the serious patients. There is no facility in no way. So all over the state, none of the hospital has the facility to treat it.
Absolutely. I just hope we can just hope that in the coming days, both the state government and the central government will take note of all of these, loopholes there, the gaps that actually need to be fixed if they genuinely care for the people of the state and the country. So also the overall infrastructure situation, the roads, we've always been in the media, we have always been flagging these issues, be it Dimapur, because Dimapur is the commercial hub of for Nagaland. And in fact, it's also very significant as far as most northeastern states are concerned. Assam has a lot of business going on with Dimapur. And also Kohima, supposed to be, one of the smart cities. It was to be developed as a smart city. So what are your thoughts on the overall road infrastructure? Because the rainy season is here. And rainy season or not, I think the roads of Kohima and Dimapur are one of the worst across Northeast.
Yeah, actually, it is not very comfortable for me to be talking on this because I being from Kohima, the capital of Nagaland.
Yes.
These are the realities that we are faced today.
Yeah.
Roads is the worst. Maybe in the northeast, Nagaland is one of the states which has the worst road connectivity.
Right.
Dimapur Kohima 4-lane road, I think it's hopefully in the next generation it should come, but with our present generation we don't know, we can't expect anything because it's almost a failed project. Now, if you pass through these roads, it is already abandoned. Nobody is there.
Yeah.
No workers. Nobody is responsible for it now. It's all left abandoned like that. So how soon it will be finished? We don't know. How time duration? We don't know. But the road connectivity is really horrible in Nagaland, particularly Dimapur, Kohima, which is supposed to be having the international standard, or at least the Indian standard of road connectivity, but we don't have,
Right.
which is very sad. And yeah, even within the state capital, within the district headquarters, the road conditions are horrible. And with this rainy season, every road will turn into another drainage.
Right.
Looks like, yeah. So this is the
Yes.
condition that we have. Yeah.
Right. So now let's talk a little bit about the whole, Naga peace talks. We've been hearing about it for so long. I guess it's more than 22 years now that we've just been hearing and talks have been happening. So, what's there in the minds of the people of Nagaland? What are the thoughts crossing their minds at this point of time?
Let me first admit that we have also been too comfortable for so many years. And maybe we as a Naga people fail to look at the cause, look at the issue with sincerity. Maybe we have taken a break for too long with comforts. But today, time has come again for us to reassert, or otherwise look back what we have done in the past. The present peace talk. Now, the government of India have time and again stated that it will be resolved at the earliest within 3 months, within 1 month after election, after one or the other assurances. But till now, nothing has happened. One thing I would like to convey through your channel is that yes, as Naga people, we have also failed our part due to our division among us. We have also failed. We also take responsibility. We also take blame for being too divisive in our approach towards the common goal. On the other hand, the government of India has also terribly failed to address this Naga issue for such a long years, of peace talks. Government of India is not being able to come clean, come clear on what their stand is. I myself, I have not involved personally in the negotiating table, but we are also made to understand, we are also informed whatever between the government of India and the negotiating parties have taken place. We are made to understand that time and again, government of India has backtracked from its commitment. Government of India is not firm to its commitment. For example, the ceasefire agreement. Ceasefire agreement is supposed to be without territorial limits. What is happening today? Manipur is shouting, Arunachal is shouting, Assam is shouting, all the northeast states are shouting. What is this? Is that because of the Naga people? I don't think so. It is the agreement, it is the commitment of the government of India. Government of India should be able to handle this. Government of India should be able to direct the government of Manipur, Arunachal, or whichever states. But the government of India is not being able to come clean on what they have committed. Now, the Naga people at large, their emotions runs high. We are also waiting for a logical conclusion. But when the government of India is not willing, and as long as government of India does not have political will, they will keep dragging this issue. They will come up with one or the other reasons. Even with the recent talks, and with the framework agreement. Now, just few years back, framework agreement was signed. Today, 2019, 2020, government of India starts they have already started interpreting what does it mean by a framework agreement. The Naga people cannot be taken for granted. Those leaders who have signed, they are not fools. They know what they have spoken, they know what they have written, and therefore they signed. Why is the government of India interpreting this framework agreement to their own convenience? Why is the government of India dividing the Naga people further? Why is the government of India in a man like the interlocutor, who is the interlocutor, has been sent to be the governor of a state?
Yes.
What good has he done to the Naga peace process in this matter? With due respect to the interlocutor, I am saying this because the content, the agreement, whatever have been agreed upon, is being interpreted to their own convenience. Either the Naga negotiating parties have interpreted to their own convenience, or either the government of India have interpreted. Now people are made to be confused. Now more divisions are taking place. If the government of India have the political will, by now things would have been cleared.
Right, and we just hope that it does not end up dividing all of us further. We just hope that the Naga people get what they want, and the entire society and the whole of Northeast continues to stay united the way we are at this point of time. Now, before we close, I would want to know from you your views, your expectations or suggestions. Now that, of course, the numbers as far as COVID positive cases are concerned, the number is shooting up, but economy and life has to go on. Education has to begin, the livelihoods have to start. So what are your suggestions going forward from now on? How should the government actually handle the whole situation? And also, lockdown relaxations are now coming in. We are already talking about unlock 1. So what are your suggestions there going forward?
As I have stated earlier, government must focus on the healthcare sector. No amount of development can save us unless we have proper healthcare. The basic thing is to have a good healthcare so that our society progress.
Right.
But if we are to continue neglecting this health sector, then even crores of money for development, it will have no meaning, in fact. Therefore, government must focus on this healthcare sector. And number 2, the government must look at agri and allied sector.
Yes.
For the state of Nagaland, as I have said, we are such a small state, thinly populated. And if we have proper agriculture in our state, we do not need to depend on other states.
Right.
But agriculture is very weak in our state. We are from an agrarian society, but now slowly we are forgetting the culture of cultivation. But I think government should come back in this and encourage in this. Each village, each community definitely will take up this project. And see, this lockdown is an eye-opener for every one of us, particularly the Northeast people.
Yeah.
I think we can sustain with our own resources, at least in the agri sector. But in the past we have failed. But with this, in the future, I wish that each government focus on this agri and allied sector and find a means for sustainability. Yeah.
Right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me today. Yes.
Can I
you
add
want to
one
add something
more?
Sure. Please.
Yes. Taking the advantage of this conversation, I would like to convey this: the racial discrimination towards the Northeast people.
Yes.
See, my son is having his assignment this morning. He brought his book, social science book, to me.
Yes.
Daddy, then he showed me the map of India. The teacher asked him to draw a map of India, mentioning each state. Each
Okay.
state.
Yeah.
Okay. When we were in the school, we were also taught the same thing, similarly.
Yes.
I do not know the other parts of India. But in this way, we are taught how the map of India is, where the state lies. We are made to understand. Even if we don't travel to their states, from our own
Yeah.
home, we can mark where the states belong.
Yes.
Now, when the rest of India does not know the Northeast people, they have a valid reason. Why? Because pre-independence, even after post-independence, Northeast was never considered as an integral part of India. It is only in paper. It is only in words. It is only in paper. Whenever the Prime Minister, Home Minister, or Union Minister visits any of the Northeastern states, they give rhetorics, lots of praises, good culture, oh, you have fertile soil, all these praises, they go back. They don't know anything about the Northeast people. And what we are faced today, racial discrimination, down from the south to the north,
Yes.
from the west, from the center, everywhere we are faced with this.
Yeah, very true.
Government of India must address this. Otherwise, this will have a long, far-reaching consequences. And Northeast people must rise up to the occasion. We must
Yes.
assert.
Yes.
And government of India must respect the identity of the Northeast people. And the Northeast people, we have community on culture, tradition, and we belong to an indigenous group of people. And
Right.
definitely we are different from the rest of India. Therefore,
Yes.
collectively, our identity must be respected by the government of India. My message to the Northeast people.
Right, absolutely. And the rest of India should learn to respect the Northeast people as they are. Like you said, we are an indigenous group of people, very distinct from the rest of India. But the rest of India should also learn to accept and respect us the way we are. Thank you so much for joining me on Newsmakers today. It was
Thank you.
wonderful speaking to you. And thank you, viewers, for watching. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Bye.